Hi, football family. Welcome back to another video with me, Football Fakir, your home for all sorts of football content. And today's video, we'll be doing a Premier League prediction. I'll be predicting where the teams will end at the end of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. So let's jump straight into the video. So before we continue and jump into the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do share this out to all your friends and family. It really helps the channel grow. We do interact with all the people who comment. So thank you so much if you have liked, subscribe, and comment on the previous videos. If not, we do appreciate you for just watching. However, please don't be shy. It takes nothing to you to subscribe or the like button. So starting with the relegated teams, the teams that will be relegated at the end of the season. Um, I feel Sunderland will be one of them. Just coming up, I feel they will go down again. Um, what going down with them will be Wolves and Brentford, mainly because they've lost. Wolves has lost Kunyan and Ain't Nouri. And for the past few seasons, Wolves has been flirting with relegation. So I feel they will go down. And Brentford also losing Umpuemo, Norgard, losing the manager. It's a rebuilding phase for Brentford. And to be honest, I don't think they will be up to standard than what they were in previous seasons. So I do feel teams like Leeds and Burnley will be stronger than them. Um, Mainly because of the players they have. So that's my bottom three. In 17th, I'll go with Burnley. So Burnley and Brentford, I think that will be the battle for who's the third team to get relegated. Burnley. They lost Josh Brownhill, James Trafford. However, they do have Kyle Walker, who has won plenty of titles with Man City. They have Tuan Zebu, who played at Manchester United, as well as Annabelle Midgebury, who's at Burnley. You know, he's a feisty player. He wants to prove himself. And I feel players like though like Midgebury, he can give you a moment of brilliance in one or two matches and get you valuable points. So Burnley in 17th, in 16th, I'm actually adding Bournemouth mainly because they've lost also Kepo was the goalkeeper. They lost Milos Kerkis, they lost Danhausen. Yes, they have their attacking players, but I mean, if you're going to concede goals at the back, you will put yourself in danger. So I have Burnley in 17th, Bournemouth in 16th, um, in 15th place as a mid-table team. I add Leeds, newly promoted. Again, they have players like Dan James, Wilfred Nonto still there, but it won't be enough to see them end high up in the table. In 14th place, I have Nottingham Forest, um, mainly because Forest will be playing in Europe. I don't think they have the strength in numbers to compete in midweek fixtures and as well as on the weekend. Um, yes, they will try and compete and do well in Europe, but in terms of the numbers of the players that they have, also losing Ilanga will be crucial. Um, they managed to keep on to everyone, but do you see a player like Chris Wood playing during the week and on the weekend, or one year playing during the weekend on the weekend? You know, we seen last season the defense was solid, but an injury to Oli Aina or injury to Morello, because of the amount of games they'll be playing, it can be difficult. It will be difficult for Forest. So I have them there finishing the bottom of the table. They might end 13th. I put them in 13th, and in 14th, then I'll put West Ham. Mainly because West Ham, I don't know what's happening with West Ham. The players they have for the past few seasons are brilliant players. However, they just can't seem to get the team um, high up the table for some reason. And that's why I'll still have them as a bottom of the half table. Because you see, when sort in pre-season, they will score goals through Jared Bowen, but they're still leaking in defense. Um, in 12th place, I'll go with Fulham. Again, another team who has good players, but just can't seem to get things right to finish high up the table. Um, in 11th, I have Crystal Palace also playing in Europe. And in my opinion, I feel, again, if they can keep hold of Eze, keep hold of Markay, Mateta, and Munoz, those are key players for them. Um, Also, again, can they play midweek and on a weekend? Um, They don't have players that can come from the bench. Yes, and Ketia is there. Yes, he can be an impact player from the bench, but again, the same reason with Nottingham Forest, I don't see Crystal Palace finishing again in the European place. Remember, they finished there because they won the FA Cup, and they finished actually 12th last season, if I'm correct. So it won't be easy for Palace. I actually have them quite higher than what many would have them. So yeah, Crystal Palace will finish in 11th. In 10th, I'll have Everton. Um, Again, Everton, under David Moyes, I feel they'll do pretty well. They have quality players in Ndai, Ganakai is there. Those players who can do a job for you. We see Garner was incredible in the preseason. So I have Everton as ending in 10th place, and in ninth place I have Brighton. Again, Brighton recruitment always good. They always manage to get vital wins. So for me, Brighton again, a good team. Um, they lost out Pedro, but they'll easily replace him. The recruitment is so good. They'll go and find a player who can fit into the system, and he will also do wonders. They'll sell him off in 2, 3 seasons, and then they'll make profit again. Um, Baliba, who's linked to Manchester United, they won't sell him if they don't have a replacement for him. We've seen it over the years. Caicedo was there, left. They're just bringing in another player. That's how Brighton works. So again, they'll finish ninth. Then you go on to the European spot, in eighth place. I'll see Aston Villa finishing eighth. Again, players like Rashford and Asensio was there at the end of the last season to help them go on and go through. I feel he's not there anymore. So I feel Aston Villa will finish eighth, and then seventh I'll go with Newcastle mainly because of the Alexander Isak issue. He's uncertain where he will be, and that can be a massive loss for Newcastle as they haven't replaced him yet. Yes, they have Anthony Gordon, Ilanga as wingers. Um, they have a midfield of Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Joe Linton is still at the club. The defense is solid. Um, but I just feel that Alexander Isak, the amount of goals he scored for them, and if they should lose him, I don't feel anyone can fill those boots. Um, it'll be difficult to bring someone in. And in the sixth place, I have Spurs. Spurs obviously last night playing in the Super Cup and leading 2-0, then losing on penalties. And again, it shows the mentality of the players. Players coming on aren't able to do the job. They have a good starting 11. They've lost Son, massive loss to them, but the players they brought in, Muhammad Kudus, fitting in perfectly, as I seen last night. Palinia in midfield, stabilizing things. Um, so they have good players, and I feel they'll miss out on the Champions League spot mainly because they'll be playing in Champions League and the league fixtures. Um, in fifth position, I have Manchester United. They'll be 10 places higher than what they ended last season, mainly because there's still lots of gaps to fill for Manchester United, to be honest. But for Manchester United to play one game a week will be beneficial for the squad they have. Um, you have only the Premier League to focus on. If I'm Manchester United, I'll forget about the Carabao Cup, forget about the FA Cup, and just focus on the Premier League and shift all your focus there. Because the more we focus on other things, you can't play a play like Bruno, can't play every match now. Um, because you're going to need him in the Premier League. If Bruno should get the injury, he is Manchester United's go-to guy. Players like Amad Diallo, Cunha, Mbuemo, Sesko, these players coming in, you can't afford to lose him. So Manchester United's focus should just be on the Premier League this year. In fourth place, it's a tricky one, and I'll actually add Chelsea there in fourth place. Yes, won the FIFA Club World Cup. Good side. Again, the issue with Chelsea will be is getting the combinations correct. Who being consistent in the starting 11. Because at the moment, you look at Chelsea, you see plenty of talent, but you don't know who's going to start. Cole Palmer's first name on the team sheet. However, you don't know who will start at right back. Will it be Reece James or Malo Gusto? Um, Sao Pedro obviously has cemented place as a striker, but yet you still have Liam the lap there. You have Pino Guttons, you have Pedro Neto as wingers. So plenty of plays for Chelsea. I feel they've strengthened. However, in the centre back, they still look a bit vulnerable. And then obviously still with Robert Sanchez in goal, who I feel can only grow. In third place, I have Liverpool to end in third, mainly because I feel they need to get in a proper defensive midfielder, someone, a Rodri-esque player who's going to sit in front of your two centre backs because they have Frimpong who's always going to go forward. They have Kirkis who's going to go forward. So you need someone there who can bring you that stability. If not, bring in two players who can provide you that cover. If your Frimpong goes forward or if your Milos Kirkis goes forward. Also, an injury or suspension to Van Dijk or Konate, then I feel that's where Liverpool will be vulnerable because they only have Joe Gomez as a recognized centre back now at the moment after Kwanzaa left. Yes, they have players from the academy, but can they fulfill those boots of Van Dijk and a Konate? Maybe you'll see Robertson slotting as a left centre back if needed. Obviously, he's aging now, so he might move to the centre of defence. We don't know what Arne Slot is cooking with the team. And then in second place, I'll go with Man City, um, mainly because with Pep, you don't know his rotation of the players. You look at City side and from last season. Yes, they brought in Cherky, they brought in Reinders, who's someone who can be box to box, get you the odd goal here and there. But when it comes into a City team, can they do what they've done at their previous clubs? Um, yes, he's brought in James Trafford for goalkeeper. However, they haven't replaced their right back, which was the issue. They don't have a natural right back. So we'll start there. Will it be again Rico Lewis or Mateus Nunez? We don't know. But in the Champions, I think this is the year for Arteta and the process. Because I said if Arsenal gets a striker, they win the league. They've got the man Gyökeres. They've also now got someone to play from the left hand side in Madueke. They have Saka on the right. I mean, in midfield, you have Odegaard, Rice, Zubamendi can play there as well. So I feel they've solidified in the places they need. The defense was always good, and they brought in the players they needed. Someone to play from the left and a number nine. So yeah, that's my Premier League prediction. Please let me know what you think of it. Let me know your prediction in the comments. Again, once again, I do appreciate all the likes, comments, and the subscribe to the channel. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming. I'll be uploading on a regular basis now. I'll be uploading on twice or thrice a week. So thank you very much, and I do appreciate it. Cheers. Enjoy the Premier League weekend.